Ranking the best fits for Dallas Keuchel. Editor's note as we examine the best fits for Dallas Keuchel below. Maybe, for a little bit, there was a time when the discussion about Dallas Keuchel was actually about Dallas Keuchel. If there was, the pitcher himself with the question of what he can actually bring to a team right now has been, if not quite an afterthought, still not exactly a steady point of focus. Now, though, it's hard to find an aspiring contender who couldn't benefit from a bit of extra rotation depth. Keuchel, even, who could use him the most, though? Hey, race our list, the Yankees' need isn't quite desperate. They're sitting atop. According to a source, the Yankees and Braves are the favorites to sign Dallas Keuchel. Both teams are in other words, there's plenty to suggest that this rotation would be interested in getting a boost down the stretch, particularly in a tough division that promises a race down to the wire. The Yankees' depth. The NL Central is the tightest division in baseball, with fewer than 7 games separating first and last place. Street. The Braves need more help in the pen than they do in the rotation. If they're going to sign, some teams involved in Dallas Keuchel have interest in him in range of qualifying offer, in other words, and $1.18 salary prorated according to his service time for the rest of the season. Keuchel's campaign, the Brewers' 4.53 ERA for its starting rotation, is the highest of any team in first place. They're lucky to sit. Even under the best of circumstances, their starting 5 would not jump out as anything special, and they've had far from the best of circumstances. Gonzalez and Ulysses Chasen are both on the Illinois. Jimmy Nelson is only just now coming back from surgery. Corbin Burns has imploded. And their pen hasn't. A hoss made for one of the best stories in baseball, to say nothing of the fact that it's all but. And while the single-related slideshow, the 2019 MLB season provided by Imane.
Raindrop, drip, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that.